I have been helping out homeschooling with two of my grandsons, and I noticed that the youngest, who is 7 years old, is having a little trouble with saying yeah instead of yes. And I noticed that I myself also say yeah instead of yes, and I would like to break this habit in both of us. So I came up with this little game, this little competition, in order to encourage each of us in using better language, because yes just sounds so much nicer. It sounds more educated than saying yeah all the time. So I have two jars or two glasses, one for him and one for me. And I went to the bank and I got 4 rolls of nickels, so it's $8. So I'm going to give each of us $4, and I'm going to let him unwrap them and pour them in here to make him more involved in this experiment, in this game. And for a whole week, every time that I hear him say yeah, I get to take one of his nickels and put it into my jar. And every time he hears Grandma say yeah, he gets to take one of my nickels and put it into his jar. And then in addition to this, every time that I hear him use the word yes in normal conversation, now it has to be normal conversation. He just can't say yes or think of ways to say yes in order to get a nickel. But every time I hear him say yes in normal conversation, I'm going to take one of my nickels and put it into his jar. And then at the end of the week, he gets to keep all the nickels that are in his jar. So we're going to see how this experiment, this competition goes, and I'll report back to you at the end of the week. Welcome back to Mount Mama Family Lifestyle. My name is Mary. I like to share topics like faith, food, fashion, function, and fun. So it's been exactly 1 week. The boys are coming over tonight, and we're going to count up the money, see how we did. I would say that Jace has about $5 or $6 in his jar, and I have about $2 or $3 in my jar, so he's going to be really happy to get this money. And we're going to continue this game. I'm going to go to the bank and get more nickels, and we're going to do the same thing this week with Jace and myself, because I think we need another week to work on this to break these habits. And Jace's older brother, Luke, wants to get in on the fun and the money, so we're going to add a jar. We're going to start out with $4 in each jar, and we're going to pick something out for Luke that he needs to work on. And what he's going to call me out on is in my everyday speech. I say way too often. I've been trying to break this habit for years. So every time that Luke will hear me say in my everyday speech, he will be allowed to take one of my nickels and put it into his jar. And then every time I see him doing whatever habit we pick that we don't like, I'm going to take one of his nickels and put it in my jar. Or if I see him doing the habit correctly in a good way, I will give him one, and we'll continue this game for a week. I think that I'm going to have to get more nickels for my jar this week, because I'm going to be competing against two grandsons. And I also wanted to point out something else. This past week, it was Jace against Grandma. I did not allow his brother to call him out and have his brother take a nickel from his jar and put it into mine, because I did not want to pit the two boys against each other. And same thing this week. It's going to be Luke against Grandma and Jace against Grandma, because I don't want the two boys taking money from each other in this competition. You know, it's fun to take a nickel from Grandma. It's not so much fun for one brother to have another brother take money from his jar. And I think that's going to work out really well and just keep it a fun, friendly competition encouragement. And we'll continue this game for a week. I've been very pleased with it. I'm very happy that we did it. It's been a lot of fun and just a great way to encourage one another in good habits. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.